Okay, let's see how this goes. Hello everyone and welcome to session 50 of the Little Wolf Knits podcast. I am Brianna and I am the dyer designer and human behind the Little Wolf Knits and this YouTube channel, and I am so happy and so excited to be here with you on this overcast Thursday morning. It is July 25th and we're here for session 50, and we were not here last week, so this is a big one and I'm super excited. I honestly don't have that much to share with you today because I've been traveling the last 12 or so days and I did not get as much knitting done as I thought I would. But it's session 50. I didn't want to skip a second week. I wanted to come back and say hi and check in and see what y'all have been working on and just share what I have with you today. So if you've been working on anything fun, feel free to comment down below, tag me on Instagram because I love seeing everything that you all are doing. Probably even more than you like seeing what I'm doing. Just saying. But let's jump in and do this thing. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Let's get started with what I'm wearing. This is an oldie but a goodie, and it felt like time to pull it out of the closet to wear for today. This is my first ever garment design. It is still my best-selling design to this day. This rivals my seaside dress, I believe, but it's so good. It's so classic. This is the twisted t-shirt by me. It has this awesome twisted rib detailing and this really cool raglan detailing that follows down the side of the top. And I love it. This is my acai colorway, and this is my Love That Journey for you, for me colorway. And I just love the way they look together. I feel like most times I end up flip-flopping, doing a variegated for the main skin, the body, and then a tonal contrast, but it was really fun to flip things around this time. And I love this one. I had two of these, and this one's a little bit longer. I used a full skein, and I love it so much. So if you haven't made a twisted t-shirt yet, you're missing out for sure. And it works up so quickly too. It's so flattering. Everyone, and by flattering, I mean everybody who makes one loves the way they feel in it. Like they love how they look in it. That's what flattering means to me. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel confident. And that is like the best thing I could ever ask for as a designer. And yeah, I love mine, so I'm gonna wear it today. That's the only knitted thing I'm wearing because it is quite warm in here. Even though technically I think our heat wave has broken, it is already 72 degrees. And we can't be wearing that many knits inside on a day where after this I'm going to go out and dye yarn. So t-shirt is perfect. Let's chat just for a second about admin things because there are only a few things to remind you of. We still have our make-along happening, and it's only for a few more weeks, so I want to make sure I'm reminding you and giving you a chance to jump into the Hot Stitch Summer Mal with myself and my friend Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy. It is not too late to join. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, where have you been? But it's not too late to join. You don't need any finished objects. Whips only are allowed, and basically knitting, crocheting, sewing, embroidering, weaving, spinning, any summer project. For you, anything that's a summer project, entering into our Hot Stitch Summer Mal, using that hashtag Hot Stitch Summer Mal 2024. And every Wednesday, Chelsea and I post a prompt that you have to like, respond to, comment, and we give away prizes every single week. So that is still going on through August 6th. So there's still a little bit of time to join if you haven't joined. And if you have joined, it has been so much fun to see everything everyone has been making. Remember to keep tagging us because I love it so much. I think that's the only other admin thing I'll say at this point. So let's just jump into what I finished. Like I said before, I don't have too much to show you. I have one finished object, one whip, and one acquisition, but I'm excited about all of them. So the first thing that I finished was actually a surprise to me. This was not the thing I thought I would finish. However, here we are. Life stuff is kind of going to be interspersed into this one, so I'm sorry if you're not interested. This is probably not the podcast for you. Switch to last one or come back for the next one where I usually separate it out at the end. But we were traveling in Italy for about 12 days, and I thought I would finish the 2 whips that I had on my needles and then cast on another whip, and maybe I was nervous that I might finish that and have no knitting, which I now realize is absolutely hilarious because it was so hot and so warm. It was actually really difficult to knit on one of the tops I was knitting on. So I ended up, I'm glad I brought my socks with me, and I ended up doing a fair amount of work on these, and these are for my sister. I hope she doesn't watch this one. I might cut that out. This is my lemon cookies colorway and birthday suit, both on Sunfish, and it felt so perfect being in Italy. We were in Sicily, and then we were in the Amalfi Coast, and just lemons everywhere, lemon trees everywhere, lemon sorbet everywhere, granita everywhere. And it was really fun to be knitting on this colorway during that. Actually, Sophia's boyfriend, Alex, was like, oh, is that gonna be a colorway for like an Italy collection for like lemons? I'm like, no, this isn't, but you never knew what you might see popping back up into another collection as little Easter egg, if it fits. So, lemon cookies, super cute. I used all of the yarn that I had. I think I was starting to say that. It was leftovers from another project for my romper, actually, that I made, my jersey jumpsuit romper that I made last year on our honeymoon. And then, yeah, these are the socks that I brought with me on our anniversary trip. I barely worked on, and then I brought with me to Italy, and I worked on them there. So, super cool, super cute. They have to get a little block. The ends are already woven. I wove them in as I went, except for, I think, the toe. I need to double check and see if the toes are woven in. And yeah, I'm going to block those today and add them to the pile for gift socks for Sophia. So super excited to have a finished object off the needles, and honestly clearing out my whips. I had a bunch there for a little. It was making me feel kinds of ways. So it's nice to be clearing everything out. So let's talk about the one thing I'm still working on. My one whip is, as you probably know, in my Songbird handmade bag. You've seen this one before, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But in this bag, I have my Spin Dip colorway on Sunfish, which is so perfect. And it is originally part of the Tailgate Party collection. It still is part of the Tailgate Party collection, and this one will be coming back. I don't know if I've mentioned it here yet, but you may have seen I started to use some Tailgate Party colorways for whips lately, and that's because I will be relaunching a Tailgate Party pre-order this August, the very beginning of August, so that y'all can get your yarn by the end of August, football season, cast on, work on your fall whips in your Tailgate Party colorways, and I'm so excited for that. So it's been really fun to revisit these colors and get them used in projects. And this is a second version of my happy hour top. This one I made with long sleeves, and I believe you saw one sleeve done and finished. I actually think it was this sleeve that you saw completed. So since you've seen this, I added a neckband because I wanted to make sure the neckband was in, so I knew how the sleeves were going to fit. Before I worked up the second sleeve, I did the sleeve cap and worked up the second sleeve and finished this on the plane. I didn't finish this on the plane to Italy. I slept a lot on the plane to Italy because we took a red eye. And I ended up working on this and finishing this the first few days of the trip while we were in Sicily, in Taormina. And then I picked up for the body. I had worked a little bit on the body, but I got a good chunk of inches done when we were in Sicily. Then I got a few more inches done in Bagnata. And started, once, actually this is not until we returned back to the States, I started increasing at the bottom here. Okay, this is hard to hold. How do I show you this? There you go. I started increasing at the bottom, which is what you do for these little ties that you tie because it has an open back, and you tie this behind your back. You saw the tank top version of this. So you just take these ends, tie them in a little knot, and I am so close to being done with this. I'm actually already working on the bottom bind off. You could see I started it there last night. I almost wanted to not record and finish this, but I realized that would be silly. So this will most certainly be a finished object next week once this bind off is done. And then that means I will have nothing on my needles, which means I need to cast something on. And if you've been around, you know that there are a few things I've been waiting to cast on. And I'm so excited to do it. One of them is already wound up and in a bag, and I've showed it to you. It is my red berries on laser over there. That is going to be a second sample for my Third Ave Tee. And I think that is going to get cast on probably today and then come with me this weekend and over the next week and hopefully get finished in the next week. Would be really nice. I also picked up some linen yarn for my mom who really wants a linen tank top. She's going away in September for her 60th birthday, and I thought that would be a really cute thing to do for her, to make her a top that she can take with her on her trip. And I have some hand spun I want to use. So there's lots that I want to cast on, lots that I want to get working on, but I'm going to focus on that Third Ave Tee for now, and I'll keep y'all posted as we go. Let's talk about acquisitions, because I did acquire something and it didn't come in the mail, which means I got something in Italy. So to understand how cool this acquisition is, you have to hear a little bit about our trip. So we started in Sicily, in Taormina, which is on the east coast of the Sicilian island. And we were there for 4 or 5 days. We had my cousin's wedding. And then we took a ferry over to the mainland of Italy, to the tip of the boot, which is Calabria. And a tiny, tiny little town, 10,000 people, beach town on the side of this giant mountain. In Calabria is where my dad's family's from and where my dad spent some time growing up when he lived in Italy. So Bagnata, Calabria. And we were there just for 2 days. It was very short. It is a very tiny town. There's not much to do. There are only a few restaurants and like one street to walk down. And one day we were walking to the grocery store to get some snacks and like food and things that we wanted for the rest of the trip, because everything was so cheap there. You could get a bottle of water for like $1 at a store, like buying it from a store. So to get like a 6-pack of water was like 30 cents. Like 30 euros, so still very cheap. And we were walking and turned the corner from the hotel we were staying at. There's only 2 hotels and they're right next to each other. And they're both tiny. They're like 6-room hotels, like little B&Bs, I would call them. And we turned the corner onto the main street, and there was a yarn store. It was yarn and like tailoring. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even look for a yarn store. This is wild. And my whole family was laughing. We were like, okay, let's go to the grocery store. And on the way back, I was like, I really want to stop at the yarn store. We're only here for today and tomorrow. I don't want to take a chance. It's open. And they were like kind of laughing at me. But of course, when we walked back, they all stopped with me. And they had a lot of acrylic yarn. And it was like one wall of yarn, almost like one IKEA helix of yarn. And a bunch of it was acrylic. A bunch of it was acrylic and cotton, I think, cotolino. And I was asking her, like, is that cotton? She was like, she didn't really speak English. No one in this town spoke English. It is not a touristy town. It is Italians. They speak an interesting dialect that was even hard for me to understand. So she was like, acrylic. So I was like, okay, I don't want acrylic. And then I saw lana, which I knew was wool. Lana is Spanish, maybe. And I saw lana, and I said, oh, that's what I want, wool. Let me see what they have. And they had some worsted and DK weight, which I didn't really want. And then I found this, which at first I thought was a sport weight, but I realized is a fingering weight. Everything's in meters, so I had to figure it out. But I don't know. It's baby. Silke, I'm assuming, is the company. Baby is perhaps the line. And it's baby merino irrestringibile. So, wool. Merino wool. And it feels really soft. It's 100% pura lana vergine. Pure new wool. Virgin wool. But it says merino. It feels like merino. It is very soft. And it is a 50-gram ball. That's 200 meters, which is about 220 yards. So I was like, oh, $4.40. This is a fingering weight yarn. How cool is that? So I ended up getting 4 of them. This is an ivory. I don't know if there's an actual colorway on here. Let me see. There might just be a dye lot. Prodotti Italy. Yeah, there's no color name. It's color 800. And it's a really soft, I won't even say ivory, cream. Ecru is probably a good word. There was a white, like a bright white, like a bleached white, an ecru, and then there was an ivory that was more yellow. And this, I was like, it's going to be perfect for like a nice summery top. And then I can make a top and be like, hey, I got this in Italy. And I thought it was so cool. So I got 4 balls of these. So I have 200 grams of fingering weight yarn from Italy to do something with. And I don't know what I'm going to do it. I don't know. It probably won't be a design, but maybe I'll make a seaside shirt or a sea street tank. I could make both of those, honestly, with what I have. So, I don't know. We'll see. But it was very exciting, and it's a cool little souvenir to have come home with. That is all I really have to say as far as what I'm working on and acquisition. So why don't we just talk for a second about what's in the shop. There are a few things in the shop, some that have remained the same, some that have changed. I think mostly things that have remained the same since last time, but I will remind you because there are some absolute last calls for yarn. Moana, let me grab it because I have the wool right here. So I'm not going to say the name, but the Moana colorway, I'm going to show it in 2 seconds, in 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1. This is what it looks like on Rambouillet. I have 2 braids of fiber, I believe, unless someone bought one in the last little bit here. 2 braids of fiber, and it is an official last call on yarn before this colorway goes into the vault. So if you wanted something, now would be the time to grab it because it'll be gone, potentially forever. We'll see if it ever comes back. But feel free to grab that now before it's too late. October Beetlejuice countdowns are still in the shop and are coming down in August this week. This is also a last call for Beetlejuice countdowns. Single skeins will stay up, but the countdowns are going to be dyed in August, which means they gotta come down and I have to get them ready to go because they need to ship out in September. Ooh, okay, we're working with things here. We gotta get going on that. So it is a last call on Beetlejuice. And we have our December, super shitty December countdown boxes that are still in the shop, but not for that much longer, because I will be taking them down in September at some point to start dyeing, packaging, putting those together to give myself a little bit more time this year. I always stretch it and then am stressed out at the end of the year, which I don't want to do to myself. So go grab your countdown boxes if you haven't yet. Get them before it's too late. We also have our July clubs that are still in the shop, and it is a last call for both of these because they will be getting dyed up the beginning of next week. We have, let's start with the order I usually do, our Schitt's Creek Club, and this is 12 things. Beautiful peaches, pinks, browns, blues, tans, and these fun coppery speckles. Beautiful, soft, delicate, summery, fall. We love it. Neutral with a little femme. I think that's how I would describe this colorway. And then we have our New Girl, our first ever New Girl inspired colorway. And this is I'm Not a Successful Adult, with all these different blues, peachy oranges, and lots of navy speckles. And this one is so much fun too. Where are my blue lovers at? That one is available as well. So definitely grab both of these if you want, because it is your last chance to do so. These are gonna get dyed up on Tuesday, which means I'm pulling them down Monday. So if you want them, grab them. And then the next time you see me, I will have lots more yarn to show you because we will have our August clubs, and I'll also have some information on our next collection, which is going to be our tailgate party collection coming very soon. I've been sharing little bits here and there on Instagram, reminding folks of colorways that are coming back, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm really excited for this one. So I hope that you all are too. I know last year this collection came out toward the end of the fall and people were already had their fall whips on their needles. They were working on gift projects, December projects, and I know a lot of people were like, I can't believe I missed out on that. So this is your chance to get it again, and I am so, so excited for that. That's all that's going on yarn-wise in the shop. We do have some fun accessories. So I believe I shared this last time, but my sister, Sophia, who her company is LW Graphico, I believe, has some items in my shop, and she has these adorable, she's calling them cherry bomb accessories that are available for pre-order. There are earrings, there's a polymer clay progress keeper, and there are these adorable hair clips. If you're a barrette girl, they're so freaking cute, and y'all have been loving them already, which I am grateful for. She is so grateful for. She's like, people are buying them. People like my art. You know, I'm sure many of you can relate to that experience. So thank you for supporting her. She is super excited, and this has really encouraged her to maybe continue making more things in my shop. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check those out, go check out the cherry bomb accessories. And they will be getting made up in the next few weeks here and shipped out to folks. So super exciting stuff. We also have porcelain progress keepers from my friend Wendy of Very Warm Stripes that are beautiful, and you have been loving those as well. There are still lots more in a few different of the color options, so that's very exciting. We still have some fox and pine stitch stoppers available in the shop. Definitely some summery ones, which are super cute, and then some foodie ones, which are very fun. I think we have some pizza left I think we have like a Mai Tai sort of pink cocktail. We have rollerblades and flip-flops and some cute animals. I think we have goats and sheep and hippos. So lots of really fun stuff there to grab in accessories as well. I think that's everything in the shop. So let's just wrap up and chat about life for a second. I don't want to talk too much more about my trip because I've been sprinkling it in little bits here and there. I will just say it was amazing. It was incredible. It was Michael's first time in Italy, my second time in Italy, but first time to all of the places we've been. And it was so amazing. I'm also exhausted. So I like to always say there are two types of trips. There's traveling and there's vacation. And vacation is horizontal on a beach, relaxing, and traveling is exploring, sightseeing, immersing yourself in culture. And this was definitely a travel, not a vacation. So I wish in a perfect world I could have flip-flopped our two trips that we did and had done our traveling first and ended with our vacation in Antigua. That would have been really exciting and relaxing. Even within Italy itself, because of just the way things were set up, we did a lot of our relaxing vacationing in the beginning and then ended with a lot of traveling, which is just tiring. And I wish we could have flip-flopped it, but we couldn't. So here we are. But it was so much fun. Coming home, I got food poisoning on the plane. The morning of the flights home, I woke up ill. And it was my worst nightmare. It still is. I don't think anything will be worse than that. I made it. We were fine the next morning, 24 hours. I woke up and felt better. So unfortunate that it had to happen when it did. But we made it. We're home. I am exhausted. I am jet lagged. I did not think the jet lag would be this intense because with all of our flying, we were going to have 14 hours of flying. But when we landed, it was 8 o'clock. So I was like, that's good. We're going to be tired. We're going to go to bed at a normal hour. It'll be perfect. Being sick definitely didn't help because I slept the whole flight. I slept when I could, when I wasn't ill in the bathroom. But it has still been really tough. By like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, I feel exhausted. Like I can't keep my eyes open. Last night, we've been going to bed at like 9, which I know is a normal time for people to go to bed, but we've been waking up at like 3, which is just too early and funny because it's like 9 in the morning in Italy and we woke up before that every day. But it's been exhausting. I'm trying to adjust. So yesterday I had a little bit of caffeine in the afternoon, which I usually do not do. And then forced myself to stay up till like 10:15. I went to bed. The first time I woke up this morning was like 5 or 6. So we're making progress. Hopefully I will get there soon. Michael and I are still watching House of the Dragon. We are almost caught up. We had to stop watching this most recent episode because we were both falling asleep. So perhaps tonight we will finish and be caught up with that. We're still watching Hell's Kitchen here and there. It's nice just to be back home and have dinner and watch TV and do the normal things that you do when you're not traveling. This Tuesday, we did our normal date night. We got our food from Bar Louie. I didn't get a burger, actually. And then we went to see Longlegs, which was a thriller horror movie, and I really liked it. I said to Michael it was really good and also bad. Like, there were parts of it that I was like, is this supposed to be bad? Is this, like, ironic? But I overall really liked the movie, so that was exciting. And then this weekend, we have our last bit of travels. We have a wedding, so it's not super far travels, but we just have a wedding to be in, so we don't have, like, a normal relaxing weekend. Michael is in one of his great friends' weddings, so we're doing that. We're very excited, but we are also very, very excited for next week when we're done with all of the traveling and can get back to our normal routine, because that will feel amazing. Yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about. I'm pretty tired this morning. I'm gonna have some caffeine. I'm getting back into the dye studio. It's been a few weeks, so that'll be really nice. And later today, I am treating myself to a little massage because my hip hurts, my shoulders hurt. Traveling has really done its number on my body. And I know dyeing today will, so I'm really excited for that. And I hope that you also have an amazing, exciting day whenever you're watching this and get to do all of the things that you and your body wants and needs. And I will talk to you very soon and see you back here next week for another session of this channel. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.